You just wait.
3, 2, and 1. Well, Mayor Mike, welcome back to Mayor's Monday here, WSAU, WSAU.com. Glad we could get in touch with each other on a bit of short notice this week, on a bit of a short week. So I guess first off, how was last week for you? How was your Memorial Day last week?
It was great. Every year, the American Legion Post 6 here in Point and a bunch of other groups involved put on a Memorial Day service or event. And we had that on Monday, Memorial Day, at 10 o'clock at Piffner Pioneer Park. We had the city band playing and they did some patriotic music. We had a flyover with John Thompson, who flew over and released a wreath in the Wisconsin River, did a salute to all of our veterans. And then afterwards, the American Legion Post 6 cooks, Mark Kowalski and Marv Haffenbertel, cooked up brats and burgers, or not burgers, I think they had hot dogs and brats. And they fed our veterans and their families and really anybody else who wanted to come along. So it was a pretty nice celebration. We do it every year here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I again, it was last week, but I asked just because kind of interested in how this has been marked throughout the region. Of course, we had the parade here in Wausau, and different people doing different things. I know there's the movement every day at 3:00 local time. Somebody goes out and plays taps, as well as part of the Taps Across America movement. But for somebody like you who's really big on community events and community pride and things like that, I kind of figured that Memorial Day was one of those remembrances and those days that you don't let fly by without some sort of recognition in some form or another there in Stevens Point.
Absolutely not. And Mike Pohl, who's been kind of the organizer for as long as I can remember, it's becoming a little bit much for him, and he's been trying to find someone to hand it off to, but there's not a lot of people jumping at the chance to do this. So him, like myself and others, refuse to let this go unrecognized. So we're going to continue doing it, and I know Mike's going to continue doing it for as long as we need to.
Yeah, indeed, because that's the case in Milwaukee. They've not had a Memorial Day parade the last couple of years because they say there's been interest dropping off in people to help organize it, or people to come out and take it in, be that whichever way it works out. But I'm glad to hear that in Stevens Point, that's something that you're not going to let happen. So I guess I'll put the call out there. If somebody wants to get involved or bring their talents in for next year's event, which of course it's got to get planned, it doesn't happen on its own. How do you want them to get in touch with either you or somebody else that organizes the event?
You can contact Mike Pohl, who puts it together. I don't have his contact information off the top of my head, but you can find him. He's an easy guy to find. Gunner's been around for a while, or you can call my office. I'll put you in touch with them. But if you want to help, we certainly would appreciate it. Speaking of things that we won't let go, we're having our 4th of July parade again this year. The downtown businesses had organized it in the past, but they're not going to be doing that this year. So we have Joe Alexander. Joe Alexander's a friend of mine. He works at Lendudas Motors. You can go on my Facebook page or the city website and find out how to get involved as a volunteer. Or if you wanted to have a float in the parade, 4th of July parade is going to be on the 4th at noon. So there's not a lot of other things going on, being the holiday Monday. But in talking with veterans groups, we all recognize how important it is to have it on the 4th of July and not just kind of mix it into the weekend celebration. So we'll be doing that as well.
Absolutely. And Len Dundas Motors has actually given me, I have a patriotic can koozie.
Things are going chaotic here at the office. I got phones ringing and computers talking back to me.
No kidding. Just don't lose the argument for Pete's sake. Len Dundas Motors has actually gave me a patriotic can koozie one year when I was driving the WSAU Jeep Patriot through the parade. I tell you what, it fits on a Point craft beer perfectly.
Yeah, nice.
It's one of my favorite koozies. Yeah,
spectacular. Other things that kicked off, we started our last week. We started our Notes at Night, which is live music downtown. The live music scene here during the summer is spectacular. So every Wednesday night, starting this Wednesday, we'll have the city band playing at the band shell. We'll have Notes at Night downtown, which is you can get that list on the Downtown Point Alliance Facebook page, or you can call the office. I'm sure we can get you a copy of that schedule. That's every Wednesday night. So either the band shell with city band or downtown on the public square. Goose on Main also has live music on their back deck every Wednesday, as does PJ's up at Century World. That starts this week. So live music every Wednesday. Thursday, we have the Levitt Amp Music Series. That's going to be at the band shell, and that's going to go through summer. That was a much bigger event with opening acts and food trucks and beverage carts, activities for the kids and the family. So bring your lawn chairs and come on out for that. It's like your 400 block, only bigger and better. And then, of course, this coming weekend, the Playhouse Theater Group is doing their rendition of Footloose. So Thursday night that starts, and you can still get tickets online at the Playhouse Theater Group's Facebook page or website. If you hadn't heard, we had a little tongue-in-cheek announcement where I banned Dancing in the City that kind of coincides with the Footloose theme. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But I had the sheriff come down and we pretended to make a big to-do about it, and those darn kids and their rock and roll music, you know how that is.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, always tons and tons of stuff to do. This coming week, this week we have the International Association of Arson Investigators here in town. They're here annually, so you'll see a lot of different fire trucks and squads from different fire departments across the area. And we want to make sure, of course, that they have a good time and a good experience. So if you see anybody out in uniform, thank them for their service and thank them for choosing Stevens Point. Boy, what else do we got going on? I think that covered most of the entertainment stuff.
Yeah, indeed. And that was just about 6 minutes of talking about outdoor events in Stevens Point that creates a community. And I asked about this first for a specific reason, because as you mentioned, your live outdoor music scene in Stevens Point is absolutely second to none in the state of Wisconsin during the summer. I'm guessing that is on purpose. That just doesn't happen.
Well, no, there's a lot of planning by a lot of different people that go into it. And I don't get to take credit for any of it other than the fact that I get to brag about our community and all the good things that are going on. And those are the ongoing things, right? So our pickleball courts are open now. We have 6 dedicated pickleball courts at Mead Park that people can use, plus of all of our dual purpose tennis court pickleball courts. This weekend is another historic event. You may remember the Robocop Statue saga.
Oh, of course.
A friend of mine, Alex McComber, last year rather, did a fundraiser called the Robocup, in which they would play the old computer game Robocop, and whoever got the high score won. And it was a small fundraiser to work on the statue. We're getting something here. Robocup 2 is happening this weekend, the 11th, at District 1 Brewing. And this year, it's my understanding that he has a Sega Genesis with the cartridge video game. Ooh. So if you want to come down and look at some retro computer stuff, I just called it computer stuff back in the day, but It's all retro now. So if you want to see all the old computers, he's got displays up, and you can try your hand at the Sega Genesis Robocup version. After that, swing on down to Piffner Pioneer Park, because there are things that we make sure and celebrate, Memorial Day being one of them. The other one is Pride Month. June is Pride Month. I issued a proclamation last week for that, and we have our annual Pride Festival that's happening on Saturday downtown at Piffner Pioneer Park, and that's Saturday the 11th. So come on down, all sorts of things going on there too.
Yeah, indeed. The Robocop statue, of course, captivated. I don't want to say it captivated the nation, but it made national headlines last year. We haven't really talked about it since, so let's talk about it. Where are we at on getting the bigger and better Robocop statue than the one that is in Detroit?
Well, as I said, Alex has been putting on this fundraiser for 2 years. So I think the one in Detroit was somewhere around $36,000 to $40,000. We are probably about $35,400 away from that minimum threshold. So it seems unlikely that in my lifetime we're going to raise enough money to make this happen. But I swear, if I win the lottery, I am building the biggest Robocop statue that the world has seen.
Okay, you know what? If I win the lottery, I'll donate to that cause just so we can actually make it happen.
There you go.
Yeah. So it's something that you're maybe putting on the back burner for right now. I mean, I saw the prototype. You had it. It was glorious. But right now
Let's
it's
call
not
it a parallel path to other things of
okay.
maybe higher priority.
Okay, there we go. We're gonna go with that, and we'll have some fun playing the RoboCop video game then while enjoying a nice stouter porter at District 1 then this weekend.
You know, Michael, I'm going to put this out there because I think you and I had talked about this a little bit before. Our lottery wish lists. I want your listeners to let me know what's on their lottery wish list. If you win a $100 million lottery,
okay,
what are your listeners going to do? Maybe 1, 2, and 3 in priority, because you and I talked about WIZA as a radio station.
Mm-hmm.
Or moving to the capital of Montana and opening up a handbasket store. So I'm sure there's some really cool ones out there. I want your listeners to let me know what their lottery list is.
Okay, we'll put that out there. Contact Mayor Mike Wiza, and we'll go through them next time, maybe.
There you go.
Then one more thing then before we let you go. You mentioned Stevens Point going to be celebrating Pride Month as well. Give us an idea of what's going to happen there at Piffner Pioneer Park when you welcome those festivities, which of course is part of a national movement as well to celebrate the individuality of everybody in the LGBTQ community, especially.
Exactly. So there's local artists and vendors that show up, all celebrating and embracing what Pride represents. And the LGBTQ plus community. We have there's a drag show with some amateurs, and we'll have a judging contest there. There's food and drink and story time. It's really just designed to be a celebratory festival for those who appreciate inclusivity and being an individual person, whoever that may be, whatever shape or form that may take. And really just letting everyone know that they're welcome and accepted here.
Yeah, indeed. And that's, something that this community in particular has struggled with at one time or another, which is, as they say, be glad that you don't have to have a Pride Month like that. But, from what I'm hearing from you is you don't necessarily want it to be just to that group. You want people to come in and celebrate who they are, no matter it is who they are.
Absolutely. Everybody is welcome here in Stevens Point, regardless of what some people on Facebook might tell you. And even those people are welcome, right? Our diversity is what makes us the community that we are. I'd like it very much if everybody got along and stayed in their own lane and let people live and be who they want to be, but that doesn't always happen. So we're going to work towards that. And continue to make things better for everyone here.
Indeed. And we look forward to that. We look forward to everything to come in Stevens Point this summer. We didn't even get to Riverfront Rendezvous yet.
We'll do that next month.
We'll do that next time around, of course, but it's going to be here before we know it. The biggest celebration in Stevens Point, some great music, all that great stuff. And can you give us an idea of how big the fireworks show is going to be yet this year? Just give us.
I can tell you, last year we moved it to the river, and we increased the size of some of the shells. We increased the length duration a little bit, and I got to tell you, I thought that was it. But in working with our contractor this year, it's going to be even bigger and better than it was last year. And it's my understanding that Wausau, due to a lack of volunteers, isn't really having a big festival or celebration. So, come on down to Stevens Point and visit our riverfront. We've got live music and games and activities and all sorts of things. We're going to be utilizing the west side of the river this year a little bit more than we did last year with food trucks and activities. Headliners on Friday night, Here Come the Mummies. So it's going to be a great celebration.
Look forward to it. We'll always appreciate the time, Mayor Wiza. Good luck on getting that pickleball courts in line this weekend. I'm looking forward to challenging you one of these days.
All right. We'll see you later.